Another all black on black mass shooting leaves 3 dead and 16 injured in a small Mississippi town, in the small Mississippi town of Indianola, Mississippi, over the weekend, or as it was actually last week. But while we're just talking about it now, is the city of Indianola has instituted a citywide curfew. Let's catch everybody up here real quick. First off, thank you for watching the Clay Edwards Show YouTube channel here at Save JXN on YouTube. I guess I need to consolidate that eventually and change the name of this thing to Clay Edwards. But neither here nor there. It's Save Jackson right now, even though we're not talking about Jackson. Be sure to check out my website, clayedwardsshow.com, to find merch, podcast links, social media links, and more. In the meantime, hit like, subscribe, share, all that stuff all the other YouTubers ask you to do. It truly does help us beat the algorithm and get real news with real opinion from a conservative out in front and on top of the recommended videos. Let's go straight over to WLBT. I believe they got this from their Action News 5 affiliate up in Memphis. Let's catch you up to speed real quick on exactly what happened in Indianola.
Well, 3 people were killed and as many as 16 others hurt in a mass shooting in Indianola, Mississippi. That town is in Sunflower County, which is about 2.5 hours south of Memphis. The county coroner there identified the 3 killed as Arian Butler, Cameron Lee Butts, and Marquette Bates. All 3 were 19 years old. Butler was a recent high school graduate. Charles Modley, who had organized an anti-crime summit with the FBI in the past week, said he was shocked by the shootings.
It's just a real unfortunate situation. It's real sad. This one really hurt.
An unfortunate situation. 3 people died, 16 others got shot in a mass shooting in a town of less than 10,000 people. I bet it was an unfortunate situation.
Because a young man that really got killed, he was a graduate with my daughter. She's taking it real hard.
Police said there was a large group of people gathered around a local club before that shooting. At this time, there are no arrests.
So, stop that. So look, I owned the nightclub here in Jackson for on and off for 15 years, better solid straight 12 years, and then kind of dabbled in and out of it. Never once, not one time, did we have a shooting inside one of my nightclubs or outside for that matter. Now, people left, things happen. You can't control that. It is what it is. And that was in Jackson. We had a majority black nightclub in Jackson for 10 years, right on the corner of Capitol and Fair Street, known as Club 105. For some other folks out there who maybe didn't go to that, it was called the Catwalk back in the 90s. Most people do, in fact, remember that. So you can run a nightclub without people dying. You can. You can't let people hang out outside. Can't do that. You got to keep them in, keep them moving, keep them going through the door. They ain't making you no money outside. You got to search people. I saw that place was 2 stories. I assume it's 2 stories. The building is. The way we did it is we had a security guard downstairs. They checked everybody. Then you paid at the mezzanine level where the stairs kind of split and you go up. You got searched again there. Only twice in 10 years did somebody get a weapon past the guy at the bottom. And you had to fire the guy at the bottom immediately because, hey, bro, you got one job. We spent a lot of money on security. I'm having to work today instead of living off my nightclub riches because we spent so much money on security. But what we didn't have is dead bodies on our floor or on our street or on the sidewalk out in front of our clubs. And that's the most important thing because it is not always about money. And that is fact. But there's a certain demographic of people who, when they commit mass shootings, it might make the local news like this just did. But think about that. 3 people killed, 16 more shot in a mass shooting in a small Mississippi town. I got Indianola's Wikipedia page pulled up right here. Let's go to it real quick. And let's take a look at just some of the breakdown of Indianola, Mississippi. I'll need that right there. Let's see here. Indianola is a city in the county seat of Sunflower County in the Mississippi Delta. The population was 10,683 in the 2010 census. I bet you it's not 2/3 of that now. I bet you it's less than 7,000 people live in Indianola, Mississippi right now. Let's see here. I wonder what the racial demographics of Indianola are. Here we go. According to the 2020 census, let's see here. As of the 2020 census, there were 9,646 people in Indianola. So I was close. All right, let's see here. White folks, 1,000 people. Black folks, 8,200 people. So the city's 85% black. A lot like Jackson, Mississippi. And unfortunately, when you see a town that's 85% black, they have the highest crime rates, violent crime rates, murder rates, aggravated assault rates, car burglaries, carjackings, store robberies. I don't know. I don't make the numbers up. I just report them. Don't get mad at me. Look at the man in the mirror if that upsets you. So the town of Indianola now has had to institute a city-wide curfew because their culture, just like Jackson, Mississippi's, is so rotten that nobody's safe after dark. It's like a Michael Myers movie. Nobody can come out after dark. Michael's out on the streets. It's Halloween. What's the name of that town? I can't remember. It don't matter. Anyway, let's go over to WJTV now. And all these stories are coming out of Memphis. Indianola, as that lady said, is 2.5 hours south of Memphis. Why aren't the Jackson stations actually doing the lead reporting on this? It doesn't matter. Neither here nor there. I'm doing it now. Let's see. The Board of Alderman for the City of Indianola has approved a midnight curfew for Indianola residents. See, this is the kind of nonsense that jackass over in Vicksburg, George Flaggs, does. And everybody's like, oh, George Flaggs is the greatest mayor in the world. No, bro, you're a terrible mayor if you got to put a curfew on your city. It means you've done a lot of other stuff wrong if this is what you have to do. But George Flaggs, they give him a big pass over in Vicksburg because he met with Donald Trump when Chokwe Antor Lumumba, the mayor of Jackson, wouldn't. And I do commend him for that. But that don't make you a good mayor. It just means you did one thing right, which is better than half the mayors in the state of Mississippi, apparently. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to the curfew. The mayor and the Board of Aldermen announced the decision Friday after a shooting at a nightclub killed 3 people and injured over a dozen more last weekend. The emergency proclamation said that the decision was made to provide protection of life due to recent events of gun violence within the city limits, resulting in multiple deaths and injuries to local residents and visitors. Once midnight strikes, it's like the gremlins here. Once midnight strikes, residents have to stay in their homes with the exception of people traveling to and from work or attending to medical or other emergencies. Man, going out and getting some of that sweet thing, ain't that a medical emergency? Could be. Indianola Police Department has been authorized and empowered to enforce such rule of law to immediately disperse such gatherings found to be in violation and to close any establishment in violation of this order. In addition to the curfew, they also announced a limit to the number of people who can gather at one specific location. Here's the quote here. In response to the occurrence of gun violence, effective immediately, no gatherings of more than 75 people may occur within the boundaries of the city of Indianola, indoors and outdoors, including but not limited to dance halls, clubs, bars, taverns, or restaurant dining areas, with the exception of funerals, school-related events, or activities. Any event with prior approval by the board and business establishments will reduce the limits of occupancy by 80% and post said reduced occupancy in a conspicuous location for public viewing. They're going to get their asses sued left, right, up, down, and in between for this, as they should. I'm conflicted. I just made a video talking about you can't blame Jackson gas stations, even though they do shoulder a lot of the blame. But at the end of the day, you have to blame the person in the mirror. You have to blame the culture that your city has developed. The shitty ass schools where you teach these kids that nothing comes above their race, that their race and their culture is more important than anything. You got crappy teachers, you got crappy parents, you got crappy culture. And that's when you end up with mass shootings. They must have not have been using an AR-15 because I ain't seen one damn thing in this article or any of these other articles we've read about it being an assault rifle. It must have just been a damn pistol. And it ain't a mass shooting unless it happened with an AR-15 or some type of semi-automatic weapon. Right now, it's just gun violence. It's just gang violence. No, it's a damn mass shooting. That's what it is. But In their eyes, the only people that can commit mass shootings by the mainstream media narrative nowadays is white folks, straight white men that look a lot like me. Even though if you'll notice, if you go to the old Googleator and type up the last dozen or so mass shooters, they don't look like me. They look like gender fluid nut jobs. That little quote right there is probably going to get this video banned from YouTube, but hey, that's how I feel about Google and YouTube. All right. At some point, folks got to start looking in the mirror and making some tough decisions. Do you want to learn some conflict resolution skills? Or do you want to take your ass to jail or to the grave? Y'all got to have to start acting right. Indianola, Canton, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, Vicksburg, Mississippi, and any other town in Mississippi that's predominantly ran and occupied by Democrats, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris supporters. That's just a sure sign for me to stay the hell away from it. Be sure to listen to the Clay Edwards Show every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 103.9 FM WYAB right here in Jackson, Mississippi, and all surrounding areas. As always, if you missed the live show, you can check out the podcast. Just search Clay Edwards Show, wherever you download podcasts, stream music, watch videos, and more. We post every day, 5-6 episodes a day, plus the main 2-hour show. We clip it up, we do all that. I'm making 2 or 3 videos here a day now. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere at SaveJXN. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe. And men, don't forget, if you're having testosterone issues, you got a little low testosterone, you may not even know you have it. Here's some of the symptoms that you could be feeling or dealing with if you are suffering from low T. Fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, that's your sex drive, brain fog, sleep disturbances, and more. Text my name, Clay, all caps, to 601-327-8550. Men's Health in Mississippi is going to get you a free testosterone screening today. Women, you qualify for this too. They have a women's clinic upstairs. Do not sell your testosterone being out of whack short, because it can make a huge difference in your sex drive, in your energy levels, and so much more. Get your chemicals properly balanced, your hormones properly balanced, not your chemicals. I apologize. Again, text my name, Clay, all caps, 601-327-8550. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit share. See you guys later.